Hey, it's Age here. Today we're taking a look at technical analysis for Bitcoin. I'll cover wave analysis with Elliott Wave theory and provide multiple scenarios the price may take and explain why I prefer one count over another. Let's take a look at the different possibilities. Starting here on 30-minute time frame, and yesterday we were looking at this structure over here having a possible some kind of triangle in here. Now that did not really play out to our expectations. We did get a little move to the downside, but then we had another move up. So to me it does not really fit too well the triangle anymore here. If we want to start it from here, sure, we could have it and it would end in here at these highs, and then this would be the aftermath. So this would be A, B and C. Of course that could be the case and we would continue to the higher, but now we're already coming down quite fast here, so it could be that we are having this as some kind of five-way move. Now, of course, there is no guarantee about that as of yet, as we have not really created that five-way structure, and the extension here is not even getting to the 1.618 as of yet. So currently, this still fits into the idea of being a three-way structure. Now, if we get to the 18.7k area, then we would look this more as a five-way structure, wait for a pullback, and then enter. But before that, I wouldn't be taking trades here. Now, what is this whole thing about? Again, if we are looking at a bit higher time frame, we had this low here around the 7th of September, around the 18.5k as a wave A. This was a first A wave of a zigzag, then we would have three waves back upward for a wave B, and then looking for another five-way structure coming down. Again, as we had this as a three-way structure, the only way we can fit a five-way structure overall is that this would be a wave 1 of a diagonal. Then we would have this as a wave, possible wave 2. Of course, it is possible to create a larger wave 2 here as well, and only then pivot downwards for a continuation of this diagonal. But at the moment, we have not cleared out these highs yet, so we don't have a reason for that to happen. Now, yesterday we were talking about, again, that triangle here, and overall what we had is that we had a three-way structure here into W, three ways into X, and then looking for a three-way structure into that wave Y. Now that wave Y should be completing the wave 3, again, before this time reaches 1-to-1, which would be tomorrow around 15 or 3 o'clock or 3 p.m. at least on my time, and that 1-to-1 extension is again comparing this amount of time it took to create the wave 1 to wave 3. So generally, again, why am I even comparing these two is because, again, on contracting diagonals, each subsequent wave structure should be using less time and should be smaller than the previous wave structure. Of course, that is not always going to be happening depending on your rule set you're going to be using for diagonals, but again, it's very common to see that. So that's why I'm keeping this as a soft invalidation. If the price gets to this area, or if the time gets to this area here, and we have not taken out these lows, then we could still be in that wave 2, overall creating something like that possibly for that wave 2. But we'll look into that later if that happens. Now, what we got here is, if we are still having that idea that we had the wave X in these highs, we would have this as a potential five-way structure. At the moment, it does not really matter which one it is, whether it's a three-way structure or a five-wave. We did not have a really good looking divergence between these two lows, so I guess we could be going either way here. Now, if we are looking at the retracement, we see that we did not hit the flat area. So if we would deem this into a five-way structure, we would have to say that, okay, anyway, this would be a zigzag pattern. And if we are saying that this is indeed some kind of three-way structure here, then we would have to say and call this a WXY. The only way I can see this reaching this target here that we had, or basically this target here, is that we are going to be having this as a five-way structure coming down for that C wave. So that's why I'm labeling this whole thing as an ABC. But yeah, we'll see how this turns out. We got some lower wave targets here before we can confirm the assumption that this is going to be a 3 or 5-way structure going downwards. And at the way we are coming down, it does seem like it is kind of impulsive. So we would look for that divergence here, look for a pullback before entering again to the downside. I don't see this being a fire wave of anything before it, so that's why I am really confident on looking for another setup downwards after the pullback. But what else do we have here? Well, if again we hit the wave 3 down here before tomorrow afternoon, then we would be looking for that wave 4 here, and again we would be looking at some targets and looking at invalidations based on where this wave 3 lands. So basically, if we are just following this current trend line that we have here, and say it gets to the 1.618 here, around here, we would be locking it like so, this channel, and tracking this channel. Basically, if the price gets beyond this, then we can't have any more a contracting diagonal, and then we would invalidate that idea completely, unless of course wave 2 would be something like this, and then we could be tracking this still to the downside. But those are the overall possibilities again that we don't need to be tracking as of yet, as the wave 3 has not even happened, so it's just pure speculation at this point. But I think that is pretty much everything I wanted to cover on Bitcoin at this moment. If you made it this far into the video, I would appreciate the likes. Links to my free Discord server in the description below, and for now, thank you for watching, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. See you in the next video, bye bye.